All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 4 of the day here with Starladder Season 8, Day 13. We've got Alliance facing off against Team Empire. Alliance may be feeling the pain after that loss against Mouse, and we'll see how they fare against Empire. But I think they'll have their work cut out for them. I'm Zyori, once again joined by Merlini. Merlini, any thoughts here coming into Alliance versus Empire?
I'm surprised they went with the Elder Titan first pick again. I'm not sure if Empire would run it, but sometimes they do run the minus armor strat with Starladder and such, so they do have to watch out for that. Banning out the Pugna I think is a very smart move, and the OD. Empire loves both of those.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see the Elder Titan first pick as well. I would have thought Alchemist might be a higher valued target. He was part of the success in the last game. S4 has been playing well with him. And also, I hate to say it, but Admiral Bulldog's Elder Titan is... it leaves something to be desired, I think, is a nice way to say it. He's not the worst, but definitely not quite as potent on that Elder Titan as he is on some of the traditional Bulldog heroes.
I would agree with you there. I'm surprised that they don't go for like a Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter, I think, is still a really good hero, and Bulldog plays him very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely. But practice makes perfect here, and it will probably be Bulldog on that Elder Titan once again. Puck going to be banned out here by Team Empire, so S4 not going to get to play that signature hero of his. And they are going to ban out the Bristleback as well. I guess last game Alliance feeling like they've gotten their fill of Bristleback for the day, and they're ready to move on to something else. Not too surprised to see him banned out here.
Elder Titan is somewhat easily zoned out by a couple of supports, but Bristleback with the Stout Shield just is not. They even had that early disruption on him, and they got him down to like half HP. So it's just not easy to zone out a Bristleback at all, and he often just gets way too much.
Yep. And with that, Lifestealer is going to be the third pick for Team Empire. A nice little change of pace here. We've commented several times on the lack of Lifestealer love over the past few weeks of Starladder, and well, Team Empire is still going to show him some love here. They could very well grab a Storm Spirit. He is one of those mobile heroes that pairs nicely with the Lifestealer with their fourth pick, if that's the route they want to go. But they still have the Alchemist and the Visage. Could very well put that Alchemist mid instead of the Storm Spirit. Could put him in the support role. All that versatility.
Not sure if it's going to be a support Alch, most likely. Just because I don't see their mid player play Alchemist very often. Empire's lineup is pretty scary. They have... It's somewhat similar to last game. It's like, who do you really focus first? Because Lifestealer, you're almost never going to be able to catch out unless you have like an instant stun, which they don't really. Like Dragon Knight, by the time he ults and Dragon Tails, Lifestealer should be able to get his Rage job. Crystal Maiden and Elder Titan not very good versus Lifestealer either. So Lifestealer, he is a situational pick, and I think he's decent in this one.
Yeah, Bane could be an option here for Alliance, a hero that works well against Lifestealer for an array of reasons. The enfeebled to lower his last hitting prowess, and there it is, Bane going to be grabbed up. Of course, that Fiend's Grip does cut right through the Rage, so can help slow down that Lifestealer. I think a wise pick for Alliance. But one of the banes to Bane is that he does take a little while to come online. We've seen a few games where if Bane struggles in the early game and doesn't hit level 6 in a timely manner, he can become a bit of a liability.
5 seconds remaining.
He is very good at harassing a Lifestealer, though. I think Alliance should probably try and match Bane up versus him. Not really sure what they're going to do with their carry yet. I think a Weaver would work pretty well. Not that great versus Bounty Hunter, but still very good at harassing out Lifestealer in lane. And he can always get a Linken's or BKB to augment his survivability. I think a ranged hero would definitely work better than a melee one. Luna is a little bit too short range, I'd say. Like Gyro, even a Windrunner I think would be fine. Gyro, Windrunner, or Weaver, I suppose, are like the main three that I would be looking at if I were Alliance. What other ones could there be? They could do like a safe lane with the Death Prophet too and just push him down. That's also not bad at all.
Yeah, totally would be an option here. They don't have a ton of lockdown to deal with a Weaver pick, depending on what Empire do 5th pick here. Alchemist really only their one big disable. So Weaver might not be a bad choice for Alliance if that's the route they want to go, but I would love to see the Death Prophet. I know it would make you happy, Merlini, but I liked seeing Loda on that Death Prophet the other day. It worked quite well. It seemed to fit the playstyle of Loda. Okay, hard farm in Crobulus.
Yeah, I think it worked pretty well in their lineup too. And they have very good push too. The Dragon Knight, I guess it would be somewhat weird for laning, but they ran him successfully in the safe lane, her successfully in the safe lane yesterday. I'm still not sure what Empire's going to do though. They don't have like the best like early anti-push too. Like if Death Prophet hits like level 9 or 10 and start taking the fight to Empire, their fight is really, really weak. They need to get ahead with track kills on Bounty Hunter, but they definitely need to see what they're going to go for as their solo mid, whether it's going to be a Storm or a Puck, the more aggressive ones that they had to draft around, or are they going to do a Vengeful Spirit pick, which is going to mean an Alchemist mid?
Oh, there it is. So, Slark, of course, released back into, I always want to say competitive mode. When I see CM, I think competitive mode. It's Captain's mode. Slark going to be the choice here. 4 lines surround off their roster, so this is pretty exciting. I was going to talk about the Venge, but the big thing about Slark right now, of course, he has the only, what's the right word for it? Serious invisibility, non-counterable invisibility, wards, all that stuff. They do not work. He has a trump card.
I don't really know what to call it either.
Immune to detection.
Term.
Yeah, there isn't really an appropriate word. So that is the thing about Slark right now that makes him so crazy. The reason that he's been outside of Captain's mode, and as you've mentioned, Merlini, you don't think it's too devastating to the point where he should have been kept out of Captain's mode.
When they don't have that much AoE like this, like if you look at Empire's lineup, they have a single target burst. Alchemist, almost all single target, Bounty Hunter, Visage, Venge, and Lifestealer. So they don't really have anything to kill him with during the ultimate. Like if you have a CM or something with the freezing field, you can do a lot of damage, even like a Magnus or just any wombo combo sort of hero, but they don't have anything to deal with him during the ultimate, so he can just get away at like 1 HP, and barring acid spray, he should survive.
Yeah, a Wave of Terror, perhaps one of the only other things they have in the arsenal. And the other changes, if I'm not mistaken, it's a shorter duration that stays constant now, always 4 seconds at all levels, but it does have a longer cooldown, 65 seconds. The Slark cooldown, ultimate cooldown used to be much shorter than that. If it was like 40 seconds or something pre-change, something like that. So we'll see how it works here. Very exciting. This is going to be one of the first games of Slark in Captain's mode following that change, so it should be interesting. And I think you are spot on. This is a good game for it because it's not like he's immune to damage. AoE still works very well. It's just a matter of him being untargetable for single target.
Pretty good at man moning versus Lifestealer too, surprisingly, because he has a very low HP pool, but an okay armor, so that means he won't lifesteal that much. He can always pounce away in case he gets open wounds. He can also dark pack off the open wounds, so Lifestealer can't lifesteal. He can also steal his stats with Essence Shift too. So there's a lot of things working in Slark's favor in this particular matchup.
All right, so let's go ahead and introduce our rosters. Here on the Radiant side, of course, we do have Team Alliance, the fan favorites in this matchup. Admiral Bulldog, once again, going to be playing on Elder Titan in the long lane here on the Radiant side. S4 going to be solo mid per usual, playing on the Dragon Knight. And down in the bottom lane, so we're going to have a tri-lane, and already some action going to come the way of Mag, as it is going to be EGM on the Bane, Ake on the Crystal Maiden, and Loda going to be hard farming on the Slark. We see Loda already prepared with some Dust of Appearance, ready to chip away at Mag. And Mag going to move his way into the trees here. He's going to get caught in a Nightmare. Ake going to come in. There's the Dust, and I think Mag is going to be slated to fall. Nowhere to go. It's a matter of who's going to get that last hit, and it's going to be Loda. He's going to get the first blood on the Slark, so not a bad start to the old Fish Eater there.
Bought the Dust himself, but he already got his investment back, so he spent 90 gold, I guess, to get 400. So that's something that you very rarely see carry players buying detection or wards for himself. But I think it's important that they have Dust. It is so important that they have Dust, that they have sentries, and they already used 2 sentries trying to zone them out.
Yep, I see one right here. And one over here as well. So let's introduce our Dire side before we get too far ahead of ourselves. On the Dire, we do have Team Empire. And the bottom lane, it is going to be Mag with a little bit of long lane Bounty Hunter, already off to kind of a rough start. In the mid is going to be Resolution on the Alchemist, going toe-to-toe with S4's Dragon Knight. And up in the top, that means it is going to be a tri-lane for Empire. Vanscore going to be on the support Venge. Always Want to Fly going to be on the support Visage. And of course, Silent going to be up here on the hard-farming Lifestealer. Again, Mag already getting harassed out of the lane. It seems like he just got back following that first blood death, but already getting zoned out. A little bit of a skirmish about this top illusion rune. Vanscore going to grab it there at the 2-minute mark. And just head back to the lane. So, Dragon Knight versus Alchemist. Another one of these mid matchups that, well, haven't seen too much of, I suppose, at least in this scenario. Looking at Mag down here, just trying to leech a little bit of experience out of the jungle. One of many things that makes Bounty Hunter an annoying adversary in this current patch. Well, I guess Mag's doing okay.
Nothing special going on there. Yeah, Mag's doing okay. He did manage to get the ogre that Aki was working on.
Yep. So anyhow, the mid matchup pretty even here. The Alchemist versus Dragon Knight. I guess Dragon Blood sort of counteracts most of the efforts of the Acid Spray. No. Did I lose you, Merlini?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, resolution with the acid spray, it does more damage and it's a larger AoE, but it's not instant, so it's about even, I'd say, in that I don't think either one should pull too far ahead in terms of CS. And bottom, yeah, nope, it's the same story for Mag.
Yep, actually the exact same setup. Nightmare to catch him, and then the Dust and the Frostbite, and that time Slark did use a Pounce, so I guess a little bit different, but yeah, gonna leash him in, and that made for a very easy kill. And Slark did actually grab that last hit, so that's now gonna make Loda 2-0 to start things off here. Only 2 kills on the board. Loda going to have both of them. And Slark does tend to be kind of a snowball hero. So getting this early start is definitely great news for Alliance.
I think Alliance also does much better when they pick things that the opponents aren't comfortable with. Like when they pick Nature's Prophet and when they pick Lone Druid, when they pick Bounty Hunter, it's very obvious as to how they play just because it's been seen so many times before and a lot of other teams run it. But when they bring something else to the table, like a Death Prophet safe lane or a Stark safe lane that people are just like, I've never played against this before in competitive, what am I supposed to do about it? They don't know. But Alliance seems very comfortable with it. It's as if they've been running it for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it just seems Bounty Hunter in the off lane, I guess he is sort of semi-okay to deal with this, but it's more Alliance have just been on point with dealing with this Bounty Hunter. They've had detection since they left the gate and just making his life pretty much a living hell down here, not giving Mag any kind of breathing room. So they have definitely come well-equipped to deal with this. At what point, though, should Mag just say, you know what, this isn't worth it. I'm just going to keep feeding down here. They're too equipped to deal with me. I need to just rotate. Or is that not even an option here?
I think one thing that bounty hunters don't do that they should do very often is like Quelling Blade into some like sneaky spot into the trees and just leech experience. At this point you can kind of do that, but they have sentries towards his very predictable path just like right outside the tower. He can also approach it this way and hide in this area over here and go the long way so they don't have vision of him. He just always needs to stay out of sight. And he looks like he's going the long way though.
Yeah, he's going to wrap around. Does have his level 3 2 points in Shadow Walk. So can keep it up indefinitely here.
S4 is actually pulling pretty far ahead in terms of CS though. 26 and 10 compared to 20 and 2 on resolution on the Alchemist. He's getting a lot of his acid sprayed creeps denied. EGM headed into mid, but there's almost no way they can kill resolution here. He has 800 HP with chemical rage too, so that's just not going to happen.
Yep.
Silent has his Midas up.
Yep, as does Loda, actually. They're going to grab their Midas at just about the same point. It seems that new ideal timing, if you're in kind of free farm mode, no towers down, is right around this 5.5, 6 minute mark is a pretty solid timing. Oh, he's going to get put to sleep again. Yeah, there's the Frostbite, and Loda's the one with the detection, though. Oh, no, I lied. Huh. Did they have another Dust on? I thought Loda
they had
was
a sentry right there. They have a sentry.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm sorry.
The thing about the Midas first build is that a lot of the carries are just switching their early builds, not going for a stout, just getting a couple branches and getting regen. They're going like the mid build of triple tango or triple branch and a tango to compensate for the lack of to compensate for the extra 150 gold that it costs. And it looks like Loda, he bought what, stout plus dust. That's 430, and then he had a branch and probably one set of regen too. So he actually did not skip out, but he got it first blood.
Yeah, that makes up for it. So they are going to get their Midases out at just about the same time, and actually Silent is about 10 CS up onto Loda. He's about 48 and 22 against the 37 and 10 Slark. So
Admiral Bulldog knows that the heroes are missing. He wrapped around over here just because he expects a smoke gank from the supports. So if he expects a smoke gank, S4 should probably expect a smoke gank too.
Yep, and well, he's got a pretty defensive posture here, so maybe semi-suspicious. And yeah, he's not going to push up. He's just going to retreat to the tower and stay safe and sound. Maybe meet up with the courier. So that will waste a little bit of time from Empire.
He's using his illusionist scout, making sure that they aren't there. Now he sees them. The jig is up. Very good scouting by S4 there.
Yeah, absolutely. Will help keep Admiral Bulldog safe. There is going to be a lane ward put down, though, as they do stop by. So Admiral Bulldog will continue to be pressured here, I think, no doubt. They've got great vision on him.
Yep. I don't actually think he saw always want to fly, so he might be able to wrap around. He does not have a TP scroll, but even with one, he still would die. So he has to be very, very careful.
Up, down to the bottom. Loda going to grab that tower kill down in the bottom lane. But yeah, there's the wraparound. They're just going to dive on the Bulldog. That will be a dead Elder Titan, but it was not in vain. Loda did grab a tier 1 tower kill in the bottom here at the 8-minute mark. And that is definitely still good news for Alliance. I guess a worthy exchange.
Resolution going to go on Aki here.
Yep, he is going to throw the stun, going to get it off with just a little bit to spare. Ake going to take a huge amount of damage. The acid spray and the creep's going to be enough to finish him.
From like almost full HP. That's how ridiculous this spell is. Okay, if someone says that unstable concoction isn't ridiculous, that is case in point right there.
Maybe you should pull out that highlight and throw it on YouTube. That's
like, what in the world?
That was a lot of damage. That was like, I saw the number, was it like 400, something like that? I mean, that's just, CM was down to like 20%. I mean, it was like a 0.5 concoction, so that is maybe not the best example, but still. Easy kills.
But, I mean, still having that high of a damage on that spell is just, oh my goodness. Like, please balance that spell.
It's a little bit ridiculous. At least make it disjointable. Jeez.
I know. That would be nice too. If Crystal Maiden had bought Tranquil Boost too, she would have survived, but she does not have it. I think she had enough money before she died though.
Silent here. I'm going to go straight into his phase boots on the Lifestealer. Where's our Slark? He is hiding out in the mid lane, and he did go for the power treads. Going to grab his wand, and a Bracer probably going to be picking up a relatively early draw of endurance here. What item build do you like on Slark? What's your main squeeze on that guy?
I am a very terrible Slark player, so I am one of the worst people to ask.
I mean, do you just build him kind of like a normal carry, though? Maybe we'll hold that thought for a moment here as there's an engage in the mid. Alliance do grab the tier 1 tower. Vanscore in big trouble. He'll be the first to fall. S4 just a little bit too tanky. Resolution gets up in his face. Of course, does have the chemical rage on. Not going to be enough to keep him alive, though. The burst damage just a bit too much. It's going to be a 3-for-0 swing and a tier 1 tower for Alliance following that. Oh, what
Slark has 101
nice
damage.
Sorry?
He had 101 damage. He essence shifted so much during that fight, and he was just hitting like a truck near the end.
Yeah. So anyhow, I guess you just build him sort of like a normal carry here. He's going to go power treads into drums. I'm just curious about what that first big core item is. I mean, is he like an armlet type hero? Do you want to build him a little tanky, or do you just go?
I remember seeing Miggle play him, but this was before Slark got changed. I think he got drums, and I forget what else after that. I'd have to pull the game up, but I don't think SNY is terrible on him. I think Scotty is also really, really good on him. He needs like some sort of chase, just because he's very, very mobile hero. But then again, this was prior to the Shadow Dance change, S4 with an Invis rune, and that was when you could get Shadow Blade on him. Oh, I guess you can still get Shadow Blade on him. Shadow Blade's not a bad item on him either. Oh, very nice block from S4.
Yeah, that's going to be a dead, always want to fly. Easy kills here coming out for Alliance. Now going to be 7-2 as we approach the 11-minute mark. And we'll see Empire grouping up about the mid lane. Looks like they may want to try and defend this tier 2 if Alliance opt to push, and it looks like that is what they're gearing up for.
Empire needs Silent. Without Silent, they just have no fight in them. He is by far the only, like, their most important hero right now. 87 CS. The next highest on Empire is 36 from their solo mid. So much of their farm is concentrated in one hero, and he's just farming away. So they just have to absolutely avoid fights without Silent right now. They also don't have a good carrier for him either. He's very immobile, and if he just gets gripped during the rage, he's just going to die right after. So they have to get a really good initiation, even if Silent comes.
Yep. And up in the top lane here, that's going to be a Fiend's Grip onto Silent. Dragon Knight going to come in. He's going to use that Dragon Tail to keep him sunlocked. Bane going to be able to grab that last hit with the Brain Sap. Beautifully done. Not even a chance for Silent.
Yeah, if he had Rage, maybe, like, Rage prior to the Fiend's Grip, maybe they would have been able to do something, but that was just very nice movement by EGM, because he's like, well, all 5 of them are mid, and I guess he only saw 4 at the time, but when you're pushing a tower, you don't really check if there's 4 or 5, especially when it's just a Bane, and then he wrapped around knowing that he would stay there and try and force him to TP away from that mid T2 fight, but instead, he just walks over there, grips them, waits for the TP, and easy kill, and now all their eggs are in one basket, 1-1 and 0 on Lifestealer. Lifestealer does not even have his armlet completed yet, and this game is just getting very grim for Empire here. 6,000 gold lead for Alliance, and Slark is getting out of control pretty darn soon. 3-0 and 3 on Loda. A lot has to do with his early dust pickup. He's bought dust again, and this is something that just carry players seem to they play so selfishly often, and I like how Loda has kind of gotten away from that. He's like, well, a kill's a kill. If I need to kill bounty hunter, I will, and it's gone a long way, especially with the first dust setup. That pretty much has set the ball rolling, and he has a dust right now, gets an easy kill on Mag, and yeah, it's just. I like the flexibility from their team.
An absolute free kill right there, and you couldn't have said it better. Wow, I'm all over the place. I couldn't have said it better myself. With Loda sharing in the duties of the support.
Sharing is caring, man.
Yeah, sharing is caring. Absolutely. With that, though, Lifestealer will be able to finish off the top Tier 1 tower, so Alliance will concede their first tower of the match, but a smoke has been used, and they're going to try and intercept them here. And they're gonna find Silent. He's just farming away. Not a care in the world. He has to
know that something's happening, because if you look in mid, it's just S4 pushing the tower, and maybe they think he's behind them, but they would just kill the tower as soon as possible, because that's just what normal people do. And if they're not there, that means they're somewhere else. And Silent's map awareness is just a little bit lackluster. He's also really slow on the rage. Like as soon as you see anybody, you rage, and you'll at least force out a grip and at least force him to buy like a few more seconds. And there is the possibility that Bane isn't there, and then you can just rage and TP away. But he just has not been very active with his team. And Lifestealer is not the AFK farmer hero, and we've seen people with Midases get punished a lot these games. But I guess they were like really far behind, so it's just not really seen as like a comeback mechanic as much as it was before, or so it seems. But our symbol size is really low.
Yeah. EGM going to fall, but you're right. I mean, it could just be a trend today. These games have been a little bit interesting, and as they seem to be semi-one-sided. The team that picks up the early momentum has been, well, in the 2 games we've seen at least, taking the victory. But you're right. Midas has not been that same force. Only 2 in this match, and probably not going to see any more. Yeah, we're going to see it here. Loda just going to hop right on the Venge. That's going to be an easy kill. Dust's going to be used, and Crystal Maiden will fall. Loda going to use that ultimate and try and hop away here. He's going to be able to pounce to the low ground. And will survive, pardon me. So a bit of a sloppy engage there from Alliance, but still a support for a support trade. Not too shabby, but as always, Empire, the team that is on the back foot, getting any kind of an even exchange is good news for them.
Yeah, they got track gold too.
Oh, yeah. All right, even better for Empire then.
Yep. Slark, one really underrated part about him too is that his ability to scout out wards with Shadow Dance too. And it's very, very good in getting map control, and it saves your supports a lot of guesswork and sentry wards.
That's true. That's very
true. They
true.
have a gem. EGM has one in its inventory.
Yeah.
Or in his stash, rather.
Yeah. On the way now via the courier. And SNY has been out and picked up on Dragon Knight, so even more SNY love here.
16% move speed is a lot, and I think people underrate it. It was 12%, and then it recently got buffed to 16 because everyone complained about how crappy the item is. And I mean, I still think it's a crappy item, but it's I guess it's not awful. It's just a little bit above awful.
A little bit above awful. An interesting choice, though. I mean, on Dragon Knight, is that? I mean, are you happy with S4's choice here?
He doesn't need BKB apparently, which is true because they just been getting the jump mag with a Lifestealer inside of him.
Yep. They may find an opportunity here.
This might be a double kill.
Gonna re-invis. Alchemist gonna come in. Bulldog just gonna get dropped. But Venge actually, oh, pardon me, that's somewhere else in the mid lane. But yeah, it looks like S4 gonna suffer a similar fate.
Regretting the SNY now. Here's when you need BKB, so you can BKB TP.
Yep, absolutely right. He is going to get his stun off, though. Going to try and run. Now Loda going to come in. S4 may actually survive this. That HP buffer, maybe he doesn't regret it. All right, Pounce going to come in. It'll latch onto Mag. And that's at least going to make it a 1-for-1 here. Ake with the freezing field. He is going to get dropped, but still Silent in big trouble now. Fiend's Grip comes out, and he is going to fall. That Bane really doing work against Silent so far in this game. Loda going to continue to pursue on Resolution. No chemical range. Is going to throw a concoction, though. And that will slow Loda down just a bit. Maybe enough to keep Resolution alive. Loda doesn't want to overcommit here. He's going to burn the ulti. It will get swapped back into the tower. That's going to be a dead Loda. That was kind of strange. I don't know why he dove quite so vibrantly.
Dire's structures are
I'm surprised that S4 didn't die there. I might have to take back every bad thing that I said about SNY. Not that BKB wouldn't have saved him there, but
Yeah.
SNY definitely helps.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, that HP buffer just enough to keep him alive. Maybe that movement speed didn't hurt
nice.
either. And now S4 again, maybe in a little bit of trouble. Not going to be in dragon form anymore, but now Resolution going to be the target. He's going to fall as it gets turned around on. Alliance going to have the support. Now they're going to be the aggressors. Vanscore going to be in under heavy fire if they can catch him. That's going to be the big problem here as he is headed for the hills. That negative earn slowly but surely ticking away. EGM in hot pursuit.
If you weren't there, I guess...
Oh, a new negative earn charge? Oh, he's going to use those stick charges. All right, Vanscore looking like he'll survive. The double negative earn. EGM, he still wants it. He's got another earn charge. He's ready to blow it. Nope, not going to use it. All right.
He has a gem. He needs to chase him. He wants to chase him.
Yep. Oh, Silent. Going to poke forward. So,
that was a really nice sleep, though, by EGM. Yeah. If he didn't sleep on DK there, DK would have taken insane amounts of bursts. It was right as his soul assumption came out, too.
Yep. And it looks like Loda may be taking heed to your advice, and Scotty could be the choice. He does have an ultimate orb. And
it's really good at kiting nakes. Like when he rages, you can. Lincoln's, I guess, is pretty.
He's
good.
got perseverance now, so I'm thinking it might be.
I would prefer Scotty, but
yeah. I don't know. Looks like it could be a Lincoln's. I would have said Scotty until I saw the perseverance.
Yeah. He does like his Lincolns. I've seen him getting a lot recently. Oh, they're looking for a swap on S4.
Well, S4 with a haste rune, though. He's got that haste complex.
I've seen that far too many times, and I fall prey to it too. It seems like it's just, oh my gosh, it's such a good feeling though, moving around hasted, unburdened by anything.
Yep. That's why I always used to like to play Lone Druid, because he gets so fast. If you build like an early Yasha on him, you can like just be cruising around way faster than everybody else. I used to just play him for the move speed. Forget about the bear.
Oh yeah, Rabbit is really good.
Yeah. I like the fast heroes. That's why I get phase boots on basically every hero.
Phase drums, Yules, Yasha?
Yeah, sounds about right.
You know Yule stack in move speed? You can get multiple Yules.
Really? I did not know that. Is that working as intended?
I don't really see why you would ever get 2 Yules.
So I guess so.
Move speed OP. Yeah, I think it's.
That's
I think it's fine.
Is that the only movement speed item that stacks with itself?
Yes.
I think it must be. I know Yasha doesn't. I know Boots don't. So.
S and Y does not stack. Does not stack with Yasha either.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah. That would be a little too strong, I think. Then S and Y would be pretty solid.
S and Y plus Y. S and Y new build.
That would be a weird build, but that's a good bit of movement speed. I could see somebody doing it.
Smoking coming out from Empire. Looks like they're ready for it.
All right, there's the blink forward from Resolution. The surprise inside as well. Looks like we know who their carrier is. Bane going to get a nice defensive Nightmare off, but will still fall. Elder Titan going to throw the Earth Splitter, going to do a little bit of damage here, and the rest of the team going to head for the hills. Crystal Maiden going to fall to one last bit of burst. CM is going to buy back, though. Slark is in the mix. He's going to finish off the Vengeful Spirit. Now going to continue pursuit. Always Want to Fly going to fall as well. Loda has that shiny new Lincolns, and he's ready to show it off. So well played by Alliance. Ultimately, they do make it a 2 for 2. The buyback from Crystal Maiden now going to give them an advantage on the field, and they will press forward.
That was a really nice blink initiation by Empire, though. That's the thing about Lifestealer. You need some way to get him in the fight just so you can instantly make it a 45, and they did make it a 45, and they got the gem. They're actually going for a Roshan right now, which is extremely risky. Empire knows what's up. They do have a Sentry Ward down, but they are all up now. So this is just very, very scary. Slark does not have his ultimate for another 30 seconds either.
Yeah, and with that, Alliance are just going to back out. They'll take a stun from the Visage Familiars. That'll be the end of it for now, but in comes Silent. Another defensive Nightmare going to come. That Rage going to expire pretty quickly. Fiend's Grip is available, but he's not going to be able to get it off. Vengeful Spirit going to fall on the backside. Now Silent going to get crowd controlled. That's going to be a 1 for 2. Alliance going to take the better of him. Thought it was going to be good to see that Bane get taken out, but still they were able to turn it around. Silent really had to commit deep to finish off the Bane. And now Visage going to fall. The Pounce going to latch. And wow, Alliance going to take a very convincing team fight right there. Much more convincing than I thought they would based on that initiation.
Yeah, very nice defensive sleep by Bane. They're killing Bane, but that's not the important hero. And they can't kill DK in a rage. They also can't kill Stark because he'll just ultimate. So Empire kind of forced to kill Bane or CM, and those aren't the important heroes. Maybe if you get Elder Titan too, but Crystal Maiden has a Ghost Scepter. So really, they're out of options. And yeah, they're getting kills, but S4 will just stun them immediately after the rage, and they'll just burst them down. Looks like Empire does not want to give this up for free, though.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
it wasn't even for free. They lost like 3 heroes, and they're still going for it.
Yeah, I mean, Bane's not the worst target if you can catch him before he gets the Fiend's Grip off. He still has it off cooldown here because he died before he could use it. So I can understand the mindset of like, well, if we can catch the Bane, let's kill him. But you're exactly right. There are much more pressing heroes at hand.
Yeah, but if they don't do it, if they don't go on EGM, EGM will just grip him during rage. So he is like actually forced to go on the Bane, but it's still a bad proposition.
Absolutely, absolutely right. But you're right about the blink on Alchemist. Much needed here. You need some sort of a delivery mechanism. So I think that build in particular is great. But interesting items other than that on Resolution. He's just got a casual vitality booster at present, a casual Ogre Club. Yeah. Probably going to be a BKB, but
yeah, I think just BKB is fine here.
Yeah, still forces him to go sort of a less aggressive build, I suppose.
Drums is such a good item for HP too. If you just needed a little bit of survivability, it helps your team out as just a fantastic item. Much more useful than a casual Vit.
And another haster in here on S4, so he may prove to be a bit aggressive. They're going to press up, and Mag going to be that targeted choice. He is actually going to get pounced on. Loda going to use that Lincoln's, going to help him out just a little bit. A swap from Vanscore. Going to buy him a little bit of time, but not going to do much. Visage going to be the first to fall. Loda just not a fear in the world. A nice Earth Splitter going to do a lot of damage here. Mag going to be able to walk away with a few hit points to spare. No, Loda's going to finish him off. The rest of the fight, Bane is going to fall to the wrath of the Familiars. Now Silent going to get crowd controlled without the rage. Down he goes. Looks like Alliance may be able to take this game. This is going to be a 1 for 5. Just trading the support Bane for every member of Empire. Now they're going to be able to grab Roshan. Oh, that hurts.
Silent stayed in way too long inside the Alchemist, but he knows as soon, even when when he came out and the Visitors were right on top of the Bane, EGM still gripped Silent, and he wasted a few seconds of his rage, precious rage during then, and then just immediately gets latched on to by Stark afterwards. So they're just doing a fantastic job of keeping down Silent, but to be honest, that's all they need to do, just because no one else really does anything. Resolution, he blinks, he stuns, and then that's it. Bounty Hunter, he's really far behind right now, and he tracks, and pretty much that's it. Visage, he's level 8, and he doesn't do that much damage anymore either. Loda just going to pick him off solo in mid. And Venge, she stuns and waves, and that's about it too. So really, the only sustained damage output that they have is Lifestealer, and they do have adequate skills to deal with that threat.
Yeah, that Bane proving to be a very smart pick. It was a 4th pick from Alliance and really working well to deal with that Lifestealer for sure. Yasha now in the inventory of the Slark to go with the drums and the Lincolns. Loda just all over the place. He does have his sights set on Vanscore perhaps. Nope, not going to initiate. Is latch the right word when he pounces and catches somebody in that little tether? Is it leash?
Yeah, I would call it latch.
Latch, that's the word you would use.
Leash, latch.
They're pretty similar. Communicate the same thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
That is going to be a manta on Slark. Interesting item choice.
I imagine the Slark just has this like parasite, and he just like latches onto people. That's my concept of the hero, and that's why I choose the wording that I do.
Yeah, I think that's
He's a parasite. Look at him.
Yeah, he's pretty parasitic, flipping all over the place.
Yeah, he's like a piranha.
What is he supposed to be? Is he based on some like unit, like lore?
Like a Murloc?
He's Murloc-ish, I guess. He looks like he would eat fish.
He's like a mix between a Murloc and a piranha.
Yeah, he's got some pretty crazy teeth. He looks like a fish eater.
Yeah.
Him and Tidebringer got to get together. Tide Hunter. Why did I say Tidebringer? That's Kunkka's ability. Anyhow, gonna see some initiation here perhaps. Empire just headed for the hills. They're all scattered about. Mag gonna be the one not to go to the base, and they will try to pursue him here. I think Mag will be slated to fall. If Loda can connect with the pounce, nope, not gonna connect here, but still gonna steal some serious stats. Negative earn. And they may just let Mag get away.
He has a gem.
Yeah, they're just gonna let him walk away.
There are more pressing matters though.
Yep. Earth Splitter gonna come out. That'll be the end of the Dragon Knight here. Earth Splitter won't be enough to keep him alive. Silent going to get caught in the grip, though. Very well, maybe the end of Silent. Couple of right clicks more. Down he goes. Bane does fall on the backside. Lifestealer buys back just about right away. Bulldog taking a lot of damage. Going to be able to use the mech. There's another latched pounce.
He has plus 118 agility. That's how absurd is that?
That's pretty absurd. That's about a 6.7 on the Richter scale.
Yeah, he just does insane amounts of damage, and they like can't focus him down.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
He didn't even have Lincoln's up, and they still can't focus him.
I mean, look at this right here. They're trying to finish off Ake, and Loda is just laying into him.
He has 147. Look at his intel. Are you kidding me?
Oh my
He does
God.
250 damage.
He hits so hard. It's unbelievable. It's almost unbelievable how hard he hits.
And he has a lot of attack speed items too, so he's just like, oh my gosh. That is probably the most essence shift I've ever seen on a Slark.
Yeah, samesies, for sure. You know, I have to say, I was more excited to see how Huskar was going to fare compared to Slark, but after seeing that, I think Slark might take the cake. I think I may have been mistaken, my friend. That was pretty dirty.
That was very dirty. Nice play by Alliance. And again, when they bring something new to the table, it's just they often dominate their opponents. So I would like to see them do that a little bit more. I think they're very flexible players and can play to that strength as opposed to what worked to them, what worked for them prior to like a month ago. Just their Rat Dota.
At the very least, these early games with Slark can skew the stats a little bit. Loda ending 18-1-9. That is just... Well, I think those numbers speak for themselves. There are not words that can one-up those numbers. Thank you for joining us here, folks, on Beyond the Sun. We got one more match coming up for you today on Starladder Season 8, Day 13. I'm Zyori. With me is Merlini. Don't go anywhere. One more Alliance game coming up. Next up on the gauntlet will be against OSG.